Good morning, guys. Happy freaking Tuesday. Hopefully, we are all feeling good. Let's move me up here. Okay, this is something that Carol messaged me yesterday about pink salt, and I was like, do you know what? I'm going to do a talk on this about sodium. So, because I was going to do one about setting boundaries, which I will do, another one on that, but I thought, do you know what, I'm going to fucking talk about sodium, aka salt, and why it actually is important to have it in your diet. So this is just going to be a wee presentation. I'll keep it short and sweet because I know I can fucking ramble. But what is sodium? So also known as salt. Now people think that salt is unhealthy for you, and I've definitely thought it in the past. I remember when my gran used to fucking fling a tub of salt on her tatties, and I used to be like, fuck's sake. But people think that salt is actually unhealthy for you and you should avoid it out your diet, but you should avoid it out your diet completely. However, sodium, aka salt, it actually plays such an important role within the body, and I'm going to explain how. Okay, so the role of sodium in your body is to create an electrolyte balance. So if you take your Hydroflow like me, you'll know all about electrolytes. And that is another topic we can talk about more. So this is crucial for maintaining the balance of fluids within the body, and it will also help regulate blood pressure. Sodium also helps with nerve function, so it will help transmit electrical signals in the body, which is essential for muscle contractions and nerve function. And it also helps with acid-base balance, so this is just important for your overall health and balance of the pH in the blood. Okay, I know that you don't always think about these things like, oh my god, I need to drink my water because of the pH value in the blood, but this is just a rundown of why it actually is important to have salt in your diet. And there's a difference between, obviously you get saltier foods, so things like, salt and vinegar crisps, or like higher fat foods like full fat steaks and all that. You're going to get higher salt in these kind of things, so that we need to watch it in terms of that. But when it comes to actually adding sodium to your food, it is actually really important that we do have that in the diet. Okay, so you will often see people use pink salt, especially bodybuilders, especially when a bodybuilder is going to compete. Some people take different approaches. I have done obviously various competitions and always salt my foods on the run up of peak week, on the actual day, and then we'll pull back on the salt, so it gives that harder look, so that you are creating that more kind of dehydrated look. And I've also been with coaches who introduce like eating salt and vinegar crisps, because the salt's going to go higher. So yeah, that's where you'll see a lot of people, aka bodybuilders, having pink salt. But I'm going to tell you the difference between pink salt to table salt, because this is what Carol asked me yesterday. So the difference is generally just where it came from, so the processing of it, the mineral content, and the slight taste. So your normal table salt has got that kind of sharper taste, like you can taste salt. Whereas pink salt it's more of a kind of balanced taste. It's not as strong. Loads of people put it on things like muffins and oats and all that, so there's not that like sharpness to it. I would recommend using pink salt for salt in your meals, plus the bottle's always cuter. I mean, pink crystals in your cupboard is a nice vibe. But I would always get pink salt over table salt. But the main thing that I'd focus on is the mineral content in terms of the differences. So pink salt contains a variety of different like minerals and vitamins, things like iron, calcium, magnesium and potassium, whereas table salt during the process can actually have additives, so things are getting added into it to give that taste. And it is just mostly made up of sodium chloride and iodine. Okay, So you've got more like health benefits coming off the back of Himalayan, if that's the right saying, pink salt, just call it pink salt. So pink salt, referred to as Himalayan pink salt. Benefits of pink salt is your electrolyte balance. So when we've spoke about this before, when you're training and even throughout the day, like your body loses minerals and vitamins. So it loses it through sweat, it loses it through peeing, doing the toilet. Like your body will always be losing minerals and vitamins, and that's why it's important that we replenish this back into the system. So things like water is very good for hydration, but it actually doesn't fully hydrate your body. That's when electrolytes, hydroflow, hydroflow is just a make of Contendies one, but electrolytes is what's going to help put these minerals and vitamins that have been lost back in your body to actually, you'll notice, I'll talk about it here. So obviously when you train, when you sweat, you are releasing sodium, okay? So as it says, through doing the toilet, through sweating, so it's important that we replenish that back into the system. So adding a little pink salt to your meals will help replenish the sodium that's been lost, because water's just not enough to actually hydrate you. We need things like electrolytes, we need things like salt, and this will help with hydration. It will also help with muscle contraction, nerve function, and it will reduce cramps and fatigue. So if you do, I'm going to go on to the next part because I'm talking about the next part. Hydration support. So sodium does help hydrate your body, helps balance out the hydration levels. So if you're not fully hydrated, you can experience things like brain fog, headaches, cramping, fatigue, extreme hunger, and poor performance. And it's something I was talking about to a client. She was saying, I'm getting like regular headaches. I said, right, okay, let's try and add in some electrolytes into your daily like supplement routine, and she's seeing a difference. Okay, muscle function and recovery. So it helps ensure muscles function optimally, reduces cramping, and support faster recovery. And it is actually also led to believe, but there is more research that's needed around about this, that it does help with lactic acid buildup during like intense training. So actually, when I done my 10k run the other week there, I salted up before, and this is just through experience of bodybuilding. I know that like salting pre-shows, pre-competition, this is going to help you maintain a good performance, or it's going to bring you the best look when it comes to bodybuilding, because when you think about it, when you're sweating, you're releasing the sodium loss, so we need to put it back in so that we can maintain that performance. Other benefits is actually healthy blood pressure. So table salt has extra additives added into it, whereas pink salt actually contains various minerals, vitamins, so using that in moderation can help contribute to better heart health and prevents actually high blood pressure, whereas because you're actually getting goodness from it, whereas table salt you're not. Detoxification, so with minerals that are contained within pink salt, this will support overall cell function. Again, I know that people won't really be concerned about these things, but it is important to know. And it may help promote like a healthy detoxification process, where a proper detox can support recovery, better metabolic function, helps your body perform at its best during workouts, because you're allowing it to do its job, okay? And it also helps boost digestion, so stimulating the digestive fluids. So your fluids actually does help with like breaking down the molecules that you're putting into the body. So this is going to help aid in the digestion breakdown, help with nutrient absorption, so getting your food to the correct places, utilising the food instead of storing it. Better digestion equals better energy levels, and I can 100% vouch for that after going through last year, all the shit I went through. I was so sluggish, I was so demotivated, and even though I did still keep up with all of my stuff, but when it came to day-to-day things, I was really lacking. I had to drag my feet. So having better digestion, obviously a lot of my things was around my gut. Having better digestion, honestly, you will see massive improvements in your energy levels. And those girls who we've been working on blood work and all that, you can vouch for that as well. So my recommendations when it comes to sodium intake is actually person dependent, because some people will do different types of activity, you know, you're training for different things, so it is person dependent. However, if someone is training on a regular basis, so if you're a lifestyle client, you're quite an active person, I would look at salting majority of my meals, so all my kind of savoury meals, a few twists of salt, 4 or 5 twists onto the savoury meals. If you're someone who's training for a bodybuilding competition, high rocks, running events, then I would be looking at salting like majority, like if not all of my meals. And then when someone is on a prep, we will actually monitor the salt going in, because the volume of work goes much higher than a normal regular client. We know that in bodybuilding we do have to take our bodies to the extreme, so it is important that we monitor these kind of things. But again, it is person dependent, so look out for the signs in your day-to-day life. If you are experiencing headaches, if you're experiencing like muscle cramps, major fatigue, dizziness, nausea, then try and add a wee bit more salt to your meals. Or if you don't already take it, then add it into your meals and see how you go with that. These things are all trial and error, so experiment with it, right? If you're experiencing the above, try adding in more to see if it helps. And also adding in electrolytes to your daily supplements will help balance out the vitamins and minerals that we lose on the daily. So if you do have any questions around sodium, just fire them at me. But yeah, get your salt in, girls.